Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to go through today's LuxAlgo trade that I did. I outlined it all in my Discord called sidekicktraders.com. I'll leave a link in the description to come and check that out. We have a 3-day trial. We do a bunch of scalping, SPX, but we also do some LuxAlgo trades as well, which is pretty fun. So today was an awesome day. I want to go through the trade that I made over $1,000 with in about 10 minutes. So yeah, let's get started on this. So check out the link in the description below. It'll take you to my full review of the LuxAlgo. I'm going through this in minute detail. You probably know if you've been following this, there's dozens of videos appearing nearly every day, and so I want to go through each one, make sure I cover everything, really learn everything about LuxAlgo for myself, but also give you guys a good insight into what I'm doing, what I'm discovering, and kind of start a conversation about how best to use LuxAlgo and whether it's worth the money or not. If you come to this article, I would highly recommend checking out LuxAlgo here. So if you click on my referral link right here, I've done a deal with a partnership with LuxAlgo, where if you use my link and STA30 is the coupon code, you can get 30% off all LuxAlgo indicators that I've been talking about in these videos. And there's a ton of them. I think there's something like 50 different variations or more that you can set to basically set up your technical analysis. And so this discount gives you 3 months of LuxAlgo for just $100, which is a total bargain. As you can see, in these trades you can easily make $100 if you use your indicators properly and a little bit of careful planning on the trade. And the trade I'm going to go through today, by no means did I execute this perfectly. In fact, I really messed it up, but I was still able to make some profit from it and also protect myself on the downside. So let's get going. Let's go through it. So the nice thing was I was able to document the whole trade that I took on the Sidekick Traders Discord. So I posted as the trade was happening, so we can use that as kind of an indication. I'll also talk you through the trade that was actually on the actual chart right here. So you can see today the settings I used, which is ones that I'm tending to go towards, are the most basic, which is the confirmation exits. I put on the smart trail and the reversal zones. And I've actually gone off the autopilot that I talked about before. It is on at the moment, but I'm finding that it doesn't matter a whole lot whether it's on or not. So I've kind of been chopping and changing that. But at the moment it's on autopilot midterm. So you can see the day. This is the whole day today. I just set it to 1 day. You can see it was an amazing day for LuxAlgo. You can see a sell signal, awesome. Another buy signal, awesome. And you can see it was just a fantastic day. These were massive winners on almost each one. Occasional little chop, but then really nice move. And so to remind you what I have here is, let's go back into the menu. So I have the confirmation signals and the smart trail, which is what you see, these blue and red. So if I zoom in for you guys that haven't watched these videos yet, the blue is the support for the smart trail and the red is the resistance for the smart trail, and that's just generally what I use them for, is support for the blue when we're uptrending and resistance for the downtrending trend. So they're really good trend indicators, but also support and resistance, so really good. Those are the settings that I've really been using and I've found to be really effective. So today I had a little bit of time. I've been moving, doing a lot of stuff, buying a new car, all sorts of stuff. So I managed to sneak in a trade today which I want to talk about a little bit, which was this one right here. So this is a SPY 1 minute. You can see that we had a trend reversal here from bullish to bearish. So that was the first indicator that something was going on. So I actually anticipated the sell signal here, so I actually got in a little bit early. If we look at my orders, which I like to show, you can see I got in at 10.56. And so if we go to here, 10.56 was actually this candle right here. And so this is a little bit of a preemptive strike for me. I had a really good feeling because this trend changed to bearish that I was going to see a sell off. So I actually got in on this candle, and within 2 or 3 candles we actually got this confirmation that there's a sell signal to the downside, and we're below this cloud of the resistance here. So you can see, so at this point I was pretty excited that I was in a trade here that would work out. And so what I did is I did 0 DTE SPY puts, and so the ones that I did were the 411s, which was close to what the price was, and that was for today. So 0 DTE. You can see the price of SPY was around 411, so I marked 411 around here. So I knew if we dropped, we would come into the money round about here. So that's exactly what happened. And as this indicator came on, I realized I should probably let other people that are using LuxAlgo in the Discord know that I was going to go short here, because I was fairly confident this was going to be a good trade. So in the Discord at 11:01, so a little bit delayed, you can see that I started to say, so this was the indicator just turning on this candle right here. And so what I said was, hey, I'm going short here on SPY based on the 1 minute sell signal. I'm bearish because on the smart trail, on the 411 put 0 DTE. And as soon as this thing dropped, I took 50% off on the big red candle to protect myself. I tend to take profits too quickly though, so I'm not saying this is the best thing to do. But if you drop that fast and you have a bigger than average position, I had more contracts than I'm comfortable with. And I took 50% off on this big drop. And that corresponds to this drop right here. So I immediately took 50% off. And part of the reasoning behind that was, you can see this as the reversal zones, which I like to add. So again, in LuxAlgo, you have these reversal zones you can add. Switch them off, you can see them disappear. Switch them on, they come back in the background here. So whenever I see a quick, fast drop with volatile contracts like the ones I'm in, I'm going to take profit. I'm going to take some profit at least, right? Because that protects me that if this immediately bounces all the way back up, I'm going to get out of this trade either break even or still with some profit. So that was the first step here, and I did 50% off on this big red candle that came down. And I told people, look, it's hard because this happened really quickly. And unfortunately, unless you're following the trade on LuxAlgo, you're going to have a hard time with that. So I did decide to keep the rest and hold them for potentially further downside or to break even. So as the trade progressed, I put on the target. So if you can see this clearly right here, you can switch on these stop losses, which is these two, and then the profit targets down here on the LuxAlgo. And that's really easy to do. If you go to LuxAlgo, click on here, you can go down to here, which is these two, just setting right here, so you switch it to on. It's not showing it here because it only shows it for the current trade that's in progress. This one had finished after I did this video. So you can see this was then giving me some guidance. It's like, okay, cool. So we have the resistance coming down with this guy, and then you also have the algorithm telling you that these are the two stop losses that you're looking for, and that the profit target's down at 410.68. So that gives you a little bit more guidance with the remaining shares or contracts, right? So I scaled out a little bit, and so I originally got these contracts at 0.47, and I got to 0.468, which is what, 50% almost, which is really nice. And then this thing just continued down. You can see just continuing down here. So we're staying with the trend's down, and basically just let the trade progress a little bit more. So I said here, still not reached the profit target, so I'm going to try to hold my last 25% until it stops out at break even or it hits the target price. I'm banking up against the downtrending resistance, so I'm watching it carefully. So this is where I got faked out a little bit, and this is why these things are so hard, is your own emotions still come into this, even if you're trying to follow a system. And I think that's where a lot of people get annoyed, is there's no way to, there is, but it's very hard to eliminate your own emotions from these trades. So what happened with me is, instead of being patient and following the rules of the Lux, I'd taken profit here, I took some more here, and then as soon as this started to retrace and get up against this downtrending resistance, I actually closed out here. So overall, my profit from here, taking some profit here, most of it, 75% of my profits were done here, and then it trended back up and I took profits around break even on the last 25% of my position. So this is not the ideal trade, right? Because as you can see, it continued all the way down and kept going. Overall on this though, I did 28% total, so when you take the average of what I did, 28% return on my position. It was a larger than average position for me, I was very aggressive today. It was kind of silly because if I'd been a little bit less aggressive, I might have been able to hold on this test of this trending down resistance and actually held and got a much larger gain, maybe on a smaller position. But look what happened. This thing just kept going all the way down here. This would have been like a 300% winning trade for me. In fact, it's going so far down here I can't even see it on the scale, so I need to zoom back up. So the actual end of the trade was here. So I ended up just getting this little bit and then stopping out here. Still a great win if you look at my profits. Because I had a large position, and zoom in here, it was still a $1,300 trade. But that could have been like a 5,000 plus trade pretty easily if I'd done it properly. So I'm hoping that you guys are better at trading than I am. This is why I need to test all these services and follow these indicator systems, because instead of just capturing this little move, I should have been able to hold this all the way down until the stop down here, which would have been ideal. And that would have been a much, much bigger trade. Still, I'm happy. Sometimes it goes against you, right? So this could easily have rallied all the way up, and I'd have been really thankful that I took my 28% profits on this move. In this case, however, I did miss out on a lot of profits. And that was kind of the story of the day. That was the only trade I did today. But you can see, look at this, what happened. The trend changed to this blue. So again, this is something that I really like. I'm going to say it's the smart trail here. Is really good for trends. So you can see as soon as this turned green, we had this really nice run with the trend. And you could have made another massive win here, all the way up to here. So really, it was two amazing signals on the 1 minute chart SPY. This one, which again I only caught this little part, and then if I'd caught this one, unfortunately got busy, wasn't able to do it, another massive winning trade would have been here. So really great day on LuxAlgo, really good. I just need to learn to be a little more patient, maybe scale out a little bit less aggressively. So instead of taking 75% off here, just take 20%, let this ride up, let it go all the way down. I'm still profitable with the system, which is great, but I really have a lot of practice and kind of emotional regulation to work on. I think we all do as traders, right? I think it's something that we're constantly working on, especially with new systems that you're still experimenting with. It's hard to know like what you can trust and what you can't. But looking over today in general, I mean, this was a great down signal as well, much faster than the one I was involved in. I mean, pretty nice. Unfortunately, the day started off really badly. This is the start of the day. We had CPI data, so we had this really crazy spike. And I think that's something to be careful with all these indicator systems, and LuxAlgo is no different, is to be like, okay, we've had this ridiculous CPI spike. What's likely to happen? It's probably going to fool the indicator, and that's what actually did happen. Lux, of course, thought that was going to be a big uptrend, and of course it reversed very quickly. So you got to be careful. You got to think about things like that. Think about things like FOMC, any Fed speakers, all this stuff, to make sure that you're doing sensible things with this. Like, don't just take it for granted. So overall, I'm super impressed. I was really happy with today's profits, even though I traded it horrendously. I'm glad I documented it in the Discord, because it's always good to give out my thoughts out loud, so other people can see kind of what we're doing on this. So just looking through here. So yeah, so that's it. I just wanted to go through that trade. I think it's important to talk about the parameters that I'm using and finding useful, and you guys can let me know in the comments below if there's any other settings that you guys are finding really useful. I think in the next few videos I'm going to start focusing on some of the Lux oscillators, the premium oscillators, which I haven't really touched on at all. There's just so much to do with this whole system that it's very difficult to get through it all. But hopefully that's helpful. I really recommend trying it out. Again, come to my article, the review article, in the description. You'll find this link here, which will give you the best possible price for LuxAlgo. You'll also find all the videos I've been doing scattered throughout this article, especially at the bottom here, where I'm trying to put them all in one place. You can kind of watch them all right here. So I go through things like different trades I've done, and I'm trying to be as careful and as meticulous as possible about testing this system, because it's really cheap. I mean, it's $100 for 3 months if you use my coupon codes, but it's still money, and you want to make sure that you're investing in the best possible indicator system. And to me, this is probably one of the best I've ever come across, certainly for the price. and I'm really impressed with it. So hopefully that's helpful, and I'll talk to you guys soon.